All right, what up, everybody? Welcome in. Baseball After Dark. Here we go, 9:01. So I'm 1 minute late. Had to make sure I used the bathroom. Just got home from dinner. This is going to be good. This is going to be great. We got a lot that happened. Hope everybody's good. Getting ready for the snowpocalypse 2026. Expecting absolute boatload of snow in here. And just getting ready to hunker down. Probably going to get a little snow day on Monday for the kiddos. So looking at 3 straight days of parenting and a probable snowed in show on Monday. But today is not Monday. Today is Friday night. So let's do this. Low key, I want some content of Adam talking about Italian cuisines. Actually, my good friend, public relations man for the Mets, Zach Weber, is in Rome right now, eating all the pasta, all the Italian cuisines. He's been all throughout Italy. I've been living vicariously through his Instagram, whether he knows it or not. So that's where we're at. Made some vanilla soft serve. Got to say, I'm not bothered by snow at all. I'm not bothered by it either. I think it's great. We're welcoming it, but definitely getting ready to hunker down. Got the groceries, got everything ready. Got the sleds ready for the sledding. The kids are going to be on it, and we'll just do it. We'll just do it. It's fine. Let it happen. I'm still a kid. Let it happen. All right. So we should get into it a little bit today. There's so many questions already popping up in the chat. You know what? I'll address this one really quick from Mason Fraley. Before we get into the big news, and then we'll start breaking down everything that happened, mostly yesterday, so I'm a little late to this. But anyway, Adam, what's your opinion on the future of MLB if they decide to do an in-season tournament or split seasons in the future? I hate the in-season tournament idea, but I could do split seasons. So we did split seasons quite a bit in the minor leagues. It's a little bit different, and I think it makes a lot of sense in the minor leagues because players move up levels. So, oftentimes it's totally different rosters in a first half or a second half in the minor leagues. And there is something to be said for having something to play for in each half with the new iteration of your team. But in the major leagues, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because at the end of the day, it's about that aggregated time frame. Like shorter time frames in baseball don't really prove a whole lot. They're often quite fluky. But I understand that these topics are going to be batted around. I think, quite frankly, I think this is a good thing that they're talking about it at MLB. All this stuff, the mid in-season tournament, because you have to at least consider everything, whether it's going to be good for the business, if it's something fans want. I feel like when Rob went on the air recently and was quoted with some of these things, really it's just a feeler. He's just feeling out the crowd, waiting for the response. At the end of the day, they're trying to get a temperature for what people want to see and what's going to make baseball popular headed to the future. All right, so let's get into it. I agree with Mark overall. This is not necessarily a copycat situation. I wouldn't want to copycat the NBA, but again, you think about everything. And right now the product's pretty damn good, but let's not rest on our laurels as a business either. MLB and the business of baseball has a lot of competition out there, so it's good, but let's keep it good. So I think you just got to think about it a little bit. All right. It just makes me upset. Hold on, we're still going. It just makes me upset because Rob Manfred right now, to me, is trying to make the game from good to junk. So look, I used to be very critical of Rob for a number of reasons, but you have to give credit where credit is due. The pitch clock was a massive success. I mean, this is one of the most popular seasons we've had, I would say, in a long time, this last one. So, I mean, I'm not, for or against anybody specifically. I don't just ride or die blankly with anybody. But that being said, like baseball's in a good spot right now. So let's not get too bent out of shape, and then we'll go ahead and see what will come of it. Obviously, a lot can happen here. But the NBA has tried some gimmicky stuff. I mean, look, I'm a Knicks fan, diehard Knicks fan. Knicks won the hold on, where is it? So Mason, he gave up on the NBA. Look, Knicks won the title of the in-season tournament this year, and now we're in a slump. Lost like 8 out of 10. And really, I was in the camp of not hanging the banner, so I'm not really big about I'm not big on the in-season tournament anyway. personally, because to me, now that I've been through it, lived through it with a team, like winning it doesn't have as much significance as I thought. Now, the teams definitely played hard, so it made it an interesting entertainment product. But it's different in baseball. You don't have to convince the players to play hard in baseball. The players play hard in baseball. I think that's more of an NBA issue, dogging it sometimes. Definitely not a baseball issue. If you don't play hard in baseball, you're exposed so fast. It's too hard of a sport. All right, let's head over to the main screen and let's get into this. Let's get into this now. All right, so there's two major moves that happened yesterday. For me personally, I think the more interesting move was the Mets move, the trade for Freddy Peralta. So that's probably where I'm going to start on Friday night here. Let me just check a couple of stats in the restream, see how we're doing. We're cooking. We're cooking. This is big facts, Eddie. Actually, not born in Brooklyn. I'm actually born in Manhattan, but I grew up in Brooklyn from age 3 on, Park Slope, Brooklyn. So, yeah, Brooklyn kid. Okay, let's get into this trade. So, for one thing, it's Mr. Freddy Peralta going to the Metropolitans. Now, I've been waiting for a really long time for the Mets to make a pitching move. Really long time. Oh, the daughter wants to say hi.
Hi.
Hello. You good?
Yep.
What's going on? You're tired?
Yeah.
All right, go get in bed. What do you got, ice cream on your face?
Yeah. When can I see these weekend? Tomorrow, right?
Possibly. We'll have to see about the snow.
Okay.
All right, see you later. Okay, so
What's the chat saying
they're
about
just
me?
they didn't say anything about you.
Guys, what are you guys saying about me?
No, nobody's saying anything about
I want
you.
to see some stuff about me.
I'll let you know. We're about to look at Freddy Peralta. That's what we're doing
I want
right
to see
now,
some
lady.
stuff about me.
All right, go to bed, lady. Go to bed.
I want to see some stuff about me.
Nobody's gonna say anything about you. All right, Freddy Peralta, 29 years old. You see the numbers; they're all red, pretty much. This guy's been a hell of a pitcher for the Brewers. Possibly the most beloved pitcher, I would say, of the last, I don't know, 5 years on the Brewers. You can argue Corbin Burns, Woodruff. People love Woodruff, but Peralta's been out there posting. Look at the last 3 seasons. 30 starts, 32 starts, and this year 33 starts. That's very, very, very consistent. 200 punches in every year. This year, a 1.08 whip. Cool whip with 17 W's. Now, I'm not, wins aren't everything, but that's a hell of a baseball season. The other thing to note about Freddy Peralta as he enters the Metropolitan world is he's only making $8 million this year in his walk year. So this is just a really weird circumstance where truly he's a top 10 pitcher in the sport statistically and reliability-wise. And the Mets had to pony up pretty good. So they pony up Jed Williams, they pony up Brandon Sprout, and they end up with this guy. So this is the current Mets rotation. Freddy Peralta, Nolan McLean, Petey, Holmes, Shawnee Manea, and Kodai Senga. So it's really 6 very, very talented players. And before, where you would look at this and you would say, man, they're really missing that thing. Now they're not missing it so much. It's Freddy Peralta. Now, people are actually, I think, under the hood, if you look at him a little bit, some people are going to have differing opinions on him and maybe where his game is heading. I read a whole article, a Lance Prozotsky article about his slider shape kind of not being as good recently. I am kind of curious to see what Stuff Plus has to say about Freddy lately. So Fangraph Stuff Plus has his 4-seam as a 108. I believe his 4-seam is one of the better ones of a starter in the game. He has a low release. He kind of upshoots it. It's a very effective 4-seam. They actually like the slider shape here. 114 Stuff Plus, 106 on the curveball, 79 on the changeup, but the changeup's become quite effective. I feel like it might not have a good Stuff Plus grade, but he knows how to utilize that thing. And you can see 9 run value last season on the changeup. So this guy really knows how to pitch. It's not all about stuff with him, but he does have a very unusual fastball, largely driven by his height and his extension. He gets a lot of extension, which kind of brings him a little lower down on the rubber as he kind of upshoots the ball. So let's just look at a fastball with a lot of ride here. Just get a sense for the delivery. I mean, we've all watched Freddy Peralta pitch, but obviously now he's on the big stage in New York City. He kind of crossfires, but he's still able to get on top of the ball. He's way over on the third base side, creating a horizontal angle, a horizontal plane to his pitches. But you see how he's got a lot of bend in that lead leg, and he gets way out there, kind of effectively lowering his entire body, which then lowers his release height. So that fastball really plays up in the zone. And it's not just a magic trick of his size and his extension. Being only 6 foot with that much extension lends itself to being low. It's also genuinely just a good fastball shape. You take a look at that. It's got a little bit of perceived cut to it, and it's got an above average amount of ride to it. What is the actual number on this bad boy? 16.8 vert on the four seam, which is above average. 4.6 horizontal, which is below average, meaning it has a little bit of perceived cut. It's lower than 8. It's taking closer to that 0 line. So that's, to me, that's what he's got going. And then the changeup, even though the Stuff Plus hates it, has been awfully effective. He basically flips the metric here. So the two that I'm highlighting, going back and forth from here, are the movement metrics on the four seam and the changeup. And you can see they're just literally backwards. Like the vertical break is 16.8 on the four seam, but that's the same as his horizontal break on the changeup. And then the horizontal break on the changeup is 4.6, which is the same roughly 1 inch off on the vertical break of the four seam. So it's two basically mirror image pitches in terms of movement. They also have they also have my bad. They also have kind of a deceptive 5-6 mile an hour difference to them. So it's all about the execution. We can go watch a little bit of Freddy pitch at some point. But anyway, he's a very good pitcher is my point, making $8 million. So a lot of teams were going to throw their offers out there. And what it took was 2 huge prospects from the Mets. Like, I mean, no joke. These are like big prospects. Jet Williams, they're no longer on the Mets list, so I guess I got to go right to Brewers list. Jet Williams now is the number 3 prospect of the Brewers, and Sproat number 6. Sproat made his debut last year. He's a starting pitcher, as you guys know. He's really a contact pitcher. But look, it's 6 years of control of this guy, Brandon Sproat, who literally, averages 96 on his fastball, and it's a sinker, and look at all the diversity of pitches. So Mets had to give up a lot in potential future value. All that being said, I love this freaking move for the Mets. I love this move for the Mets. They're going for it. They're putting the foot down. And this was a guy that they have familiarity with. Stearns had him in Milwaukee, obviously. He's a vibes guy, which they could definitely use. And, he's going to help them get in the postseason. And I think it also takes a little pressure off McClain to carry the team a little bit. So that's my initial thoughts. We'll get into more of that, but I really want to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Eno said on a recent Rates and Barrels, Stuff Plus is about to forget about the 2020 season, so grades on sliders and sweepers are probably going down. Okay. Do you think Peralta missing out on money since signing the cheap extension early in his career makes it more likely he will take an extension or hit free agency? So this is a great question on the Bump Baseball. I love this question. For me, I would have assumed it would make him more likely to want to get every dollar he can now. Like, he's probably regretting his extension before a little bit because he's obviously worth way more money than he's getting paid. So if it were me, that's probably how that would have affected me. But hard to tell. There are probably other players. Like, I'll give you an example of a player. My good friend DJ LeMahieu generally liked to just sign ahead of time. When he knew what he wanted, he was willing to just kind of just let it happen. I remember he could have got a huge raise through arbitration, but he ended up signing just with another decent season, but he ended up signing a 2-year arbitration deal because he just wanted to be done with it. So some people are like that. Maybe Freddy's like that. But my assumption is he's a very prideful guy. He sees the huge dollars other guys are getting, and he's probably going to want to see what he can get too. So, at least that would be my mindset, to be honest with you. All right, what else we got here? Now, so Carl, this is a follow-up here. Carl, do you think there's a high probability they extend him? Now, the one thing that they have working for them is they're the Mets. So they have Steve. So they can pay him like market value if they really want him to be one of the starters moving forward. If they're impressed with him and that's what they want to do, then they can do that. So he doesn't have to like compromise. They can afford to pay it. They're paying Bo Bichette essentially $47 million if he opts out this year for 1 year. So that's the advantage that they have, and that could come into play. But do I think that there's a high probability? I still think no. Stearns generally is adverse to long-term deals for pitchers, even ones he probably loves. And, Freddy's also probably inclined to see what's out there. That would be my guess. All right, what else we got here? Love this comment. Thank you. Yep, that Savant is straight juice. It is. He's got a great Savant page. Like, you don't really see this often from starters, to be honest with you guys. If you watch this show, we look at Savant all day long, and this is a reliever page. This is what a reliever looks like. He's basically a shutdown reliever style pitcher, to be honest with you. He just does it for multiple innings in a row. Like, he comes at you, he strikes you out. There is some walk in his game, but overall, he's missing a lot of barrels and missing a lot of bats in general and punching tickets. 200 strikeouts is no joke. Some people, like the Rockies had like one guy in their history who had 200 punchouts, I think before John Gray or German Marquez came around. That's like 20 years. And he's done it 3 years in a row, so he's a stud. Stearns be cooking, and you know what? He is cooking right now. I love the last few moves. I love the Robert move. Really love the Robert move the more I've thought about it. And this one I like a lot too. I think Jet Williams could come back to haunt a little bit. He's got when you watch Jet play and you get to know him a little bit, like I know him a little bit and I've observed him up close, you can see a world in which he could be an absolute stud because he has the tools and he's probably going to be tough to pitch to given his size. Like we've seen shorter guys. He could be like a Bregman, but like a more gritty Bregman. I don't even know and not to say Breggy's not gritty, but he's an interesting player. So file that away, but nevertheless, I would have pulled the trigger on this too. This was actually floated in the chat on the last Baseball and Coffee, and I was like, I would probably do that. So anyway, here we are. There's Freddy's Savant page. So let's see what else we got here. On the top 100 list from an hour ago, they both ended up top 100. So Jet and Sproat. I prefer going for Scooble in 27. We're not as good as LA. No glove at first. Yeah, I mean, on paper, no team's going to be as good as LA, but you still got to take your shot at it, I think, when you're this pot committed. The Mets have $300 and some odd million in the pot every year, so. And I love that. I love that they just find a way to do it. Like, yeah, it was a weird beginning of the offseason, but you got to give credit. Like, they just keep going, man. I mean, yeah, granted, the Bichette move is probably a little bit reactionary, but like, at least they reacted. Some teams just stuck. They don't do anything. So, Adam, should I have beer for dinner or Taco Bell or beer and Taco Bell? Great question. I'm going to say you got to go one or the other, depending on what you had earlier in the day. If you didn't eat a lot, then I'd probably go Taco Bell. Otherwise, I go beer. All right. Brew Crew got more value from 1 year of Peralta than they did for the 1 year of Burns. Totally agree. DL Hall and Joey Ortiz is not, I don't think, as good of a future value as Jet Williams and Sproat. But I think it's the salary. It's the salary as well. And all right, let's get to this comment now. Mets World Series 2026. And he makes a great comment. Do not forget Tobias Myers. Now, Tobias Myers had a bad year this year in that he was up and down from the minors like 4 times. But I'm actually a fan of him. First of all, I've seen him on his best performance ever when he shoved against the Mets in the postseason 2024 for 5 shutty against us. So I've seen him at his best, but look at the profile of the pitches. Number 1, 61-degree arm angle. I love that. That's an outlier. That's super high. You savage territory. Obviously, he's not as big as him. He's only 6'1", but it's a weird arm angle, which I like. And then you look at the pitches. Look at the four seam. I mean, granted, that's what you're going to get from this arm angle, but that shit is way above average on movement. Cutter, slider, so 2 gyro pitches, which makes sense out of that arm slot. And then he also has this splitter that he's trying to figure out. You know, it's a very typical over the top arsenal. It would be nice if he had a 2-speed down curveball. I've seen he's thrown 1% of those this year. But look, the bottom line results are fine. 3.55 this year. He only got 6 starts and threw 50 and 2/3. I'm sure he thought he was going to pitch way more after. That's a sensational year the year before that. 138 innings with a 3 flat ERA in the show is really good, guys. Really good. I don't care if it's a 26-year-old debut or whatever it was. So the Mets might have struck gold here too. Plus, this guy has bullpen experience and starting experience. So it's weird stuff. And I know that I'm looking at, this isn't Freddy Peralta's Savant page, obviously. Crappy xERA, crappy X, a bunch of stuff. But I like the shape, and I think that it's also, the Mets don't have anybody with this shape. Tong, to a slight extent, the fastball's similar, but Tong's different pitcher, and I like it. It's different. It's unique, and also he's got plenty of control, plenty of team control. So we got upside protection here for the Mets, and to be honest with you, like Tobias Myers and Sproat, it's actually like a little closer. Like I don't know who's better. I mean, I know Sproat's younger and probably more heralded at this point, but he's low spin. Here's Sproat. He's low spin. He's gonna pitch to contact. He's gonna have a lefty problem. His arm angle, while being low, it's probably less unique than Myers. So I don't know, man. Like I kind of like it. I think the Mets kind of fleeced him here. The only one is Jet Williams for me. And I know this is what the Brewers do too, but it's also sad to me that they won 97 games and they trade their ace. So, all right, here we go. Who is the leader of the pack for the East now? I gotta say, man, I think the Mets and you gotta say the Phillies, but the Phillies and the Mets and the Braves are all gonna be there this year. I think it's gonna be a little tight now. I really do. Still Phillies, though, would be my answer. Freddy's debut was in Coors, shoved it up our rear ends pretty hard that day. I remember fastball was crazy. Crazy. All right, let me skip down a little bit. We got a lot of I did do this earlier. We got a lot of comments in the chat, so it's just trying to get some of these. Also, this is always a key factor. Don't forget that. This is real, going for career payday. Like in a contract year, like of course you're going to be a little bit more on it. Not that you're not always on it, but you have a lot of incentives that line up, and humans respond to incentives. Don't forget that. How can you gauge athleticism for me when watching a pitcher, but you can see how this dude is a freak in the way he moves? You can just kind of, I don't know. I've watched a lot of pitchers, I guess, is the only reason I think I have a good feel for this, but body type goes into it a lot. Like if you're not really heavy, like if you don't weigh a lot, you still throw gas, odds are you're a pretty damn good athlete and you move really well. Because otherwise, like I just brute strength it because I was heavy. Like I was flowy, I guess, but like I had kind of not a very efficient delivery, but I was just big and strong, so I could throw the ball hard. But if you're like thin and throw the ball hard, you're likely a great athlete. And then sometimes you can combine both, like Skeens, he's big and a great athlete. And then, then you're in a great spot. If Cease costs 210, you have to imagine Peralta starts the convo at 200. I mean, he's definitely eyeballing that Cease contract. There's no doubt about it, right? He's got to be eyeballing that thing. I would be, So, yeah, that's my guess. I don't really know. It's hard. The money thing seems to switch around a lot year to year, and it's hard to gauge on who's going to be valued. Year to year, different models. Like I didn't have Cease as the number one guy, but it's pretty sure he's going to be. Pretty sure he's going to end up the number one guy. Are the Braves going to be okay this year? I still think they're going to be good. Well, we can touch on them a little bit in a little while. What are these questions? Is Stearns goated with the sauce? We'll find out. It only, I can like it, but it has to work, right? So that's ultimately, that's one position. GM, president of ops, like you're defined by results. Process, nah, not so much. Of course, you can talk about your process, but the results are what matter there. All right. Tobias with 5 years of control also. How am I going to handle it? I'm probably just going to let it happen for the most part. I agree totally. This is something that I think that we're going to be working on. I'm really trying to calculate VAA better myself for something I'm working on as well. Things will get better. Promise you that. We just been chatting, Maya. We just been doing our usual chatting a little bit about this trade. I really like it. I think Jet Williams is the one that could, potentially become a thing. I like Sproat, but I'm actually of the opinion that Tobias Myers is intriguing as well. It's only a 2-year age difference, but it's a more outlier presentation. So I just talked about that a little bit. All right, let's keep going. And this is why Tong didn't get traded, Carl, because most people like Tong better. He's more higher ceiling, much higher ceiling with the whiffs. All right, what else we got? Yep, here you are. Getting Myers in the deal is huge. Sprout has more potential, I guess, but there's high likelihood and all. I think that if somehow I think this is a fleecing to get Myers, honestly, on top of it. You're paying $8 million for Peralta, which is beautiful. And on top of that, you get Myers, who I like. I like it a lot. All right, what else we got here? Could the A's swing a crazy surprise and sign Valdez? I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. Yep, VA is the hardest one to make. Totally agree. I saw this, but I don't have any thoughts on it. I don't know what's real or not real. All right, what else we got? Ayo, nope, I wasn't. I was there today though. Because I had to go. I did like a media training thing with Aaron Boone and Jason Zillow, who runs PR for the Yankees. We talked to like 75 college kids who want to be in the communications field or whatever. So we just sat on a panel, answered some questions. So I was there. And I took a couple pictures. There was a Clemson. I think there's a bowl game coming up or something, or maybe it already happened. I don't know enough about football. All right. Yeah, I was at dinner earlier, so that already happened. What else we got? Mets fleece, but I'm also looking around. I'm not sure if any other team is in the position to give more for a rental. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the Yankees in this regard, but they probably weren't. They probably didn't feel as that it was as big of a need. I think the Mets have a lot. I just think there's a lot riding for a lot of people on this season with the Metros, whether it be Stearns, whether it be Mendy, whether it be, quite frankly, like Soto and Lindor, like just like getting in the right spot. Like obviously Bichette's on a 1 year. Like they gotta go. This made sense. They have a surplus. Like they didn't give up Tong. They still have McLean. They now have some of the best coaches in the minor leagues, some of the best pipeline there is. So it's like they're gonna trust that. They're gonna tell themselves they'll have another Sprout in a minute. And that's the reality. But I think Jet Williams is the one that might, if any, it's for me at least, I'm higher on Jet Williams. I've watched him swing it a little bit, and he's just got like a very interesting tool package. And I know that guys that are his size and his build are kind of tough to pitch to. Like they really, really are. Like they really, really are. He's tough to pitch to, I have to say. You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna look for him on the research tool. And we did this once already, so this might be redundant a little bit, but it's important now, right? So he was in minors, and then we're looking for play log, and that's going to take a second to probably load. Oh, time frame 2025. And we want participles. Hold on, we'll just go this way. All right. So we did this once already, but I do really feel like this kid has something. He hits the ball really hard for his size. His swing's very compact. He's also very fast. I think he's going to be tough to pitch to. I think as he learns his game and as he faces the best pitchers in the world more often. So to me, this was the great pickup by the Brewers. I mean, Sproat's going to help for sure. I mean, he's going to pitch in the big leagues, but I think this guy might be a stud. So this one, I mean, that's a great swing. I mean, he's not big either. That's a hell of a swing. So, you know, Ted hates all righties. So anyway, that's like my one comment on Jet. I mean, I really do. I really do think he could be something. But again, I love the trade for the Mets. And now you look at the Mets team, and we'll do that in totality in a minute here. But you can't help but think it's pretty damn good now. There are, of course, question marks. Robert's still a big question mark, huge upside, but also, major downside there based on how he's performed the last 2 years plus injury history. Semien really hasn't hit very well the last 2 years, but at least he's going to be pretty damn good on defense, and he's like very well respected. I think Bo is honestly one of the bigger gambits. I think he's going to really hit, and I love his spot in the order, but he's playing third. So there are question marks. Polanco at first. And then, how are the rest of the other 5 starters going to hold up? Will Shawnee be healthy? Will Senga be effective? How will Peterson be after the long workload? Holmes, can he take on more workload? McLean, first time through the league full time. Like, there's questions, but they're all really talented players, and I think they can answer a lot of those questions really well. It's a good swing. He stays through the ball nice. So, anyway, I don't think Jet Williams is penciled in to start on any ball clubs, but again, let's just look at the Mets in totality at the moment. I mean, Lindor, he's a top 10 player in the game. Soto is obviously top 3 probably offensively. And then Bo Bichette, best, one of the best contact all-around hitters in baseball. Like I said, the third base thing is interesting. The 1-year gambit is interesting. His press conference was interesting. Polanco, first base, he ended up being really, really good last year, but this makes no sense at first. I agree with that. I think I agree here. I don't love him at first, but he's a good bat. We'll see if he can keep what he did last year and keep it going. Semien is a huge bounce back. Beatty, it's like now like, is Beatty going to get regular ABs? I'm curious how this works out with him. Alvey, I'm a huge believer in. Everybody knows that. And then Luis Robert, like, it's just like, will he be healthy? Will he be the 2023 Luis Robert? So, I mean, there's questions, but I guess that's true for every team. But you can't say this team's not talented. It's very talented. Even Benge, we don't know him, but he's talented as crap. Super high prospect. 6 very talented starters. And then even in the bullpen now, I mean, really, this is pretty damn good. Airbender, Weaver, Minter, Rayleigh. Like, those 4 are all very reliable. Despite Devin Williams' year last year and Luke Weaver's tail end, those guys are going to be pretty damn reliable. Garcia's been around forever. He can take on a big workload. Brazaban as well. And then Myers is a great wild card as well. Plus, they have some minor league depth guys as well. Like, they're doing a really good job. Like, even this sneaky pickup today of Brujan, he's like fast. Christian Scott's coming back in the mix. Like, okay, so like it looked really bad a couple weeks ago, but they've really made a big comeback here. So now they're a very interesting whole new team. Now, a big concern for me is how will this completely new roster come together, as a team? That remains to be seen. And that's why I think they have to get off to a pretty decent start. But the talent's there. The talent's absolutely there. So, I feel really good about this one all of a sudden. Took a little while, but the Peralta thing with Myers, that's just a whole nother level. Like, now they have high-end pitching, so it's good. Robert doesn't even need to hit as long as he's healthy and plays elite center. I mean, yeah, they're strong up the middle defensively. That's what Stearns has always been saying, and he's not wrong, He's not wrong. All right, what else we got here in the chat? Did this happen? Did this go through? Nationals rebuffed interest from the Giants and CJ Adams. Okay. So, I mean, we'll get into all of it. There's so much that happened today. This was like, we just talked about this for 30 minutes. Let me see the Brewers. Like, what do they have projected right now with these two new dudes? Like, they have like is Fangraphs saying that they're going to be on the squad? Well, no. And but from the Brewers' perspective, if you're a Brewers fan right now, and I don't know if we have any in the chat or not, but it kind of sucks, man. Like, I know you're gonna lose him after this year, but he's like your ace. He's been there. He won 97 games last year, and now he's gone again. And you have to just like kind of believe in the process, I guess. So, I mean, the lineup's still annoying as shit. Chorio, Terang, Contreras, Yelich, Vaughn, Frelick, Durbin, Mitchell, Ortiz. I would not want to face that too often. And no, as of right now, no Sproat penciled in. Woodruff, Mizorowski, Priester, Patrick, Logan, Henderson. Yeah, then Brandon Sproat. All right, so we'll see how this works out for the Brewers. They do have these guys for 12 years combined control, so that's the upside. That's the calculus. That's the value. That's the value weighing out the values. So from that sense, it makes sense. What is this? Oh, my Discord. Okay. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit here. I think you said in a previous episode you thought Benge's swing needed some work. Can you talk about that more? All right, maybe we'll take a tiny detour to watch some Carson Benge. I think I was able to watch him a little bit on here when we looked at him, and let's watch the 4-hit game. I'll go to the solo shot for a second, and then once the ad runs out, we'll pop that on. All right, here we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's just that it's just in that the load is pretty big. Like, not to say it can't work. Clearly, he's gonna have. I mean, what he's shown already is elite tools, but also elite, ability to get bat to ball despite having a lot of movement in his swing. But I just know that when you have a lot of movement in your swing, when you have to do a lot to generate, or your timing mechanism is huge, like his is, like you can see that's pretty big. This move, right? Oh, where? Let me get him here. Oh, it sucks. I can't really like. I mean, it's. I've seen guys succeed with it, but it's just one more thing a pitcher can exploit timing wise. So, I mean, time will tell. We'll see. I mean, look, Junior Caminero has a lot of movement in his swing, and he freaking bangs. So, it's not foolproof. It's just one of those things I look at and I wonder if it'll hold up. That's all. All right. What else we got here in the chat? Yep, this was hilarious when Minter, the prank. That was some crazy shit at Texas A&M. Yeah. The real question is whether the Brewers will actually be buyers during the deadline. Top-ranked farm, even a small market, have prospects to give up. Last deadline was a disappointment. They do have a crazy farm. Jesus Made and Luis Pena are both very highly rated. Made is so highly rated, he could probably pry any player away if he's the headliner. But they're now the new number one. They're the new number one. So yeah, I mean, they have things they can do, but they also rely on this group to kind of be the bloodline to the actual major league team. Like when I was with the Rockies, like, yeah, it's just an organizational thing. Like our big prospects we're gonna have them for 6 years. So, no, I did not teach Matt Brash how to throw a sweeper, but his is really, really good. Really, really good. No, it's fine. It was interesting that I saw it, at least, Maya. Thank you. All right, what else we got here? Let me just go way to the bottom. Yeah, the hoodies will be up soon. We're waiting on these crew necks to come in, or maybe we'll just start with the hoodies during this snowstorm. I'll talk with the boss. So, I think Junior's just elite. Personally, I think he's just elite. Like, just he hits the ball so hard, so he'll be pretty good anywhere. Haven't seen this guy yet. We can maybe get into him in a little bit. What we need to do, what we need to do now is we need to go look at some of the other moves. We can circle back to more Mets Brewers talk later if we want to, but what we need to do now is we need to go look at the Yankees because the Yankees brought back Bellinger. I feel like this was a foregone conclusion, but it certainly took a while. And man, Scott Boras did a hell of a job. I mean, he's getting what, 44 million or something each of the first 2 years with the opt out after that. You know, he had a hell of a year. He's been an MVP. He's a really good player. A huge Cody Bellinger fan. But man, that's a hell of a job. I mean, he was basically like a team had to eat salary on him last year. So that's a big come up. Anyway, it's the same team they had last year, but people are poo-pooing that. Like they did have the same record as the Blue Jays. So it's not a bad thing. And midway through the season, they do get this guy back. And that should make a big difference. People might disagree, but I'm firmly in the camp that he's going to come back guns blazing. So I do think they might even have more moves to make in the bullpen. And listen, I do have some information about how some of these guys have been doing. So I'm a little more optimistic on some stuff with the Yankees than some other people. But again, at the end of the day, I like Cole, Rodon, Fried, Schlittler come playoff time. I also think Ryan Weathers could turn into an actual dude getting around this pitching group. They're going to really teach him some things. He's going to be very, very good in my opinion. And Jazz is motivated in a contract year. I think their defense is a lot better than it used to be, especially with McMahon at third. That's a big deal. Ben Rice, for me, was really good last year, but just not kind of unlucky. But this was important. They are a little too left-handed. They could use a righty bat, so it might be the time. I don't know who you would go after, but it might be the time. I mean, especially now since you just blocked Jones and Dominguez, kind of might be time to make a move, get a righty bat. I don't know who that guy is, but that being said, I mean, Aaron Judge is going to face a lot of lefties, or he's just going to get walked a lot. And Bellinger and Rice have a big amount of lifting behind him to do, or Stanton or whoever's behind him. That's kind of the key to unlocking their offense. And then other than that, it's just that the AL East has leveled up. But Bellinger was a must. It felt like they had to do it. So it is not really much analysis to say, to really give on this move. Like it felt like this was going to happen. But Yankees are at least whole again. And if they didn't get him, I don't know where they'd be, because then they'd really have to be relying on a young guy. And then I guess they pivot to improve the team in some other way. But I mean, this is a good fit for the Yankees. He's just a good ball player. He fits their team very, very well. Really good defender, and obviously pretty good hitter. Also way better at Yankee Stadium. So, in my opinion, Belli only ever fit on the Yankees. His splits outside of Yankee Stadium were abysmal. They were. We looked at them. That's true. But I mean, obviously, he's been a good player in 3 different ballparks. So I hear you, and it's a fair assessment. But I don't know if I mean it could be fluky too. So I get it. Uncle Ted, you're saying something bad about a lefty hitter? I'm shocked. I'm shocked, sir. Feel pretty good about how the Jays staff. Here's one right here. Feel pretty good about how the Jays staff matches up with the Yankees. A lot of splits. I do totally agree with that. So the Jays are built to get lefties out in the rotation for sure. And that's a little bit of an issue. Like you look at the Blue Jays rotation right now. And like Gosman, I would say his strength is getting out lefties. Cease, straight up and down as well. Bieber, probably not, but he's fine. Savage, better versus lefties for sure. I don't even know if Barrios is going to be there or not. And then Ponce is more straight up and down too. So good point there. Good point in the chat there. If this offseason keeps being interesting, we're never going to get that Kyle Finnegan pitch usage deep dive everybody's been clamoring for. We talked about it when he got signed. I mean, 75% split. We'll see if he keeps going with that. Same team, so they're probably going to push that. We'll see how that goes. Yanks get some pen help, and the team is ready for opening day. That's my opinion too. So let me go back to the Yankees real quick. I mean, there's not a whole lot of huge moves they're going to do. I would like to see a ready bat. I don't know who that is. But you look at the bullpen, Bednar, Doval. I think Doval's going to settle in and be good again. Love Cruz, secret weapon. Tim Hill, gotta love that. Jake Bird, so like I was really high on him, and then he like immediately stunk and got sent back to AAA, but he's got good stuff. I think let's give him another run through. I think he might be fine. And then Blackburn and Yarborough are kind of like the long guy fill-in veteran guys. So like the Yankees actually are usually better at deploying those guys than almost anybody else. And then Cade Winquist. But they have some really good pitchers that are on the way. Let's not forget about a couple of the big prospects. Plus Clark's coming back too, Schmidt. So they have plenty of pitchers. Where's my guy? Elmer Rodriguez, Chase Hampton, Ben. What's his name? Not Ben Hess. There's another one. I like Hedrick's fastball. They have some guys. Lagrange. They have some guys that are coming. So, I mean, like, whatever. The Yankees, I think, are going to still be good. It's a shame that they didn't do a Dodger offseason and just, like, yeah, Ben Hess, maybe. I mean, it's a shame a little bit because that's what you're used to as Yankee fans, but I think they're going to be pretty good. Yeah, and Lagrange throws 103, so that's always a good thing if you can do it. That's for sure. Yankees need Geraldo Perdomo. He's a hell of a player. Yeah, and look, the Red Sox have number one pitching projected by Fangraphs in the league. So I think, look, the American League East is a motherfucker this year. So, I think they can fight. They can hold up with anybody. But I think what we're feeling, what we're all collectively feeling a little bit with the Yankees is that it's kind of a similar team that they had last year, almost the same. Not exactly, of course, but almost the same for all intents and purposes. And plus a half season of Cole. But the rest of the league got better. Like the Orioles clearly got better. The Red Sox, I think, are better with the pitching. And then the Blue Jays, they made a lot of moves. So anyway, let's get back into the chat here. Let's see what we got here. If Judge never wins a World Series ring, is he the best Yankee ever to not win a ring? So, I mean, Mattingly would be the other, I guess, right? A sneaky one that people I don't think realize is actually, I think, Musina. He was there for a long time and was awesome, but, like, just missed all the rings. Was he, like, 02 to 08? But, yeah, Judge probably. I mean, Judge is, like, a historic player, so makes sense to me. Is Boston the team to beat in the AL? Great 1 through 9, solid rotation, and Hicks, Chapman in the bullpen. So I'm of the opinion that there's a lot of pressure on like some young guys with the Red Sox, and it might work out. But like they're really counting on Roman being the real deal. This is the Red Sox here we're looking at. They don't get Bregman, but I like the Contreras move. I think he's going to bang there. We know about their defensive ability when it comes to Cedon. Marcelo's a great defender as well. And really, it's all about the pitching. I think that the lineup could be really good, but I don't know. They're missing an aircraft carrier, right? Like right now, Duran penciled in the 3-hole. Like, I don't know. I'd like to believe he could carry that load, but I'm not sure. He didn't play that well last year for him. But you can't say enough about the pitching depth, and we've been over it a million times. But Crochet, Suarez, Gray, Bayo, Avedo, and then you've got Crawford, Sandoval, Early, Tolley, Harrison. Like it just goes. So that's why they're number one in pitching. And when you're number one in pitching, you're probably going to be okay. But as I mentioned on a podcast the other day, not this one, but like the Rangers were number one in pitching last year and couldn't hit. And they didn't make the postseason. So just because you're number one in pitching doesn't mean anything. But it comes down to Roman, and I also believe he's going to be the real deal. It's just like it's a lot, so who knows? I think Sox expect Roman to be the freight train, and I think they do too. I mean, literally, like he feels like it. He's got a great head on his shoulders. He's that dude, and these are all kind of blurred out. But you see all that red in there? That's not normal. He had a 396 on base percentage in his first 303 plate appearances in MLB. So, I mean, we watched a lot of his at-bats, and I don't even think he played well for him. And he had an 859 OPS. So, he's like a legitimate, like, I mean, it's hard to even put a comp on him because it's so high at the plate. You know, the combination of exit velo, but also incredible eye, like it's Juan Soto-ish. You don't see it very often. So I'm very high on him. I mean, these are the home runs to center just to relive some absolute, pokes by the young boy. I mean, this isn't a normal swing. Like, that's a freaking bomb. That's David Ortiz shit. And the pitcher's not happy, Austin Gomber. I wouldn't be either. Here's another one. Also to center. Also left on left. Now, it's Camden Yards, but that will not be the last one he hits in Camden Yards. He'll hit plenty there. He's going to own that freaking place. There's another one to center. Another left on left. Above the zone. In Houston. It's deep out there. Not for Roman. So, I mean, I couldn't be more high on this guy. Plus, just like every interaction I've ever had with him is like so impressive and so pro for his age. So, Sugano. So Sugano's going to be on the WBC team for Team Japanese, the Samurai Japan team, and his fastball didn't have nothing for Roman there. You know what? I'm tired of watching a home run. Let's watch an opposite field double. Let's watch him slice a ball the other way. Oh, slice it. So, it's cheating Max Kepler. All right. Anyway, he's going to be really good. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Red Sox, this AL East is going to be a monster. Monster. All right, so let's move along. Let's move along to this trade between the Rangers and the Nationals. Mackenzie Gore, noted former top prospect, who more or less has not panned out, but is still only 27, goes to the Rangers, gets to pitch in that ballpark, very big pitcher's ballpark, and now he's probably the number 3 behind Jake and Nate. And it's a huge package that goes back the other way. 5 players get moved. So Taboni comes in and he retools again. And I saw that there was a graphic up there because this is all tentacles from the Soto trade. Mackenzie Gore came for Soto, and now they're getting an additional 5 prospects, including Gavin Fiend. He was the 12th pick in last year's draft. So plenty of guys. And we've been over Mackenzie Gore a few times. Throws very hard for a lefty. He's always had the tantalizing stuff. And to his credit, he's thrown a crap load of innings. Is this Mackenzie? I believe so. Someone warned YouTube there's about to be Gore on screen. So he's thrown a lot of innings. Like, he's made his starts. He's punching a lot of tickets. But look at the whips. The whips tell the story. He's just simply giving up too many base runners. He's got great extension. He throws hard. I've seen him shove. At times he looks unhittable. To my eye, I feel like he comes out a little bit too guns blazing at the beginning of the year, and then he has a hard time to sustain it. But he's going to get a new life here again in Texas. I mean, anytime you're around Nathan Eovaldi, that's a great thing. Probably one of the most respected pitchers I've ever been around, and with good reason. Obviously, Jake's there as well, but that's more of a watch and awe thing, and he's just a great teammate. But Nate is the one that you're like learning from. Jake, it's hard to learn from. He's like too amazing. But you watch Nate, and you're like, oh my God, like I can turn myself into that. So maybe that rubs off. And he certainly has the arm talent and the pedigree and all of it, but it just hasn't been there yet. So it is intriguing that he netted this many prospects. I think Mackenzie has more than 1 year of control. Let's double check that. Yeah, 4 years of service time. So he is controllable through the arbitration system. Earliest free agent 2028. So that's probably why. I mean, he has plenty of control. Obviously, he has big upside. Anytime that you've pitched this much in the major leagues and you're 27, you have this much experience. A lot of times people will give up on you, but in reality, like you have plenty of, you could figure it out right now, and like you're only 27. You know, you could be a $200 million man in a couple of years if you step on the gas right now. So we'll see. All right, what do we got, Maya? I'm not quite getting it for the Rangers. You already have a top rotation. You don't have a farm good enough. Trading away 5 prospects doesn't matter. Not the destination I would have guessed. So, yeah, all right. Let's go look at the Rangers roster here for a second. Because I didn't actually have an opinion on it yet. But the Rangers are an interesting team. Like, I've talked to Chris Young in the past. They recently won the World Series 3 years ago. I feel like he was very frustrated that they weren't able to build off that, but I don't feel like they're ready to stop. Now, they were very aggressive with their non-tenders, and then they made the very aggressive move of punting Simeon for Nimmo. Now, the offense was the problem last year, not the pitching, to Maya's point. Here's the current offense they're rolling into this season. Nimmo, Langford, Seager. Gotta like that. Nimmo's going to be very motivated. I think the plantar fasciitis will be better. I'm encouraged. Langford's a good hitter, straight up, and Seager's great. Then Peterson, who kind of stunk last year, but I wouldn't put it past him to rake. Berger's a tough out. Carter was like somebody that people were extremely high on, but now we have to see it again. So there's a lot of talent here. Jung at third, and Young, and then Josh Smith, who actually earned a starting job by how well he played. And now they have kind of a new catching duo. So, like, the offense has been reimagined. It is a horrible place to hit, I believe. Let me go look at that and actually confirm that, but it feels enormous when you're in this ballpark. Like, straight up, like, it just feels so big. It's 22nd best park. Actually, just a little bit worse to hit than Citi Field. Now, where's Nats? They had Nats as the 6th best. I think a lot of that's just because it's so damn hot there. All right. I am generous, though. Jock's like a contemporary of mine in the NL West, so, and I've always liked his antics. Like, I'm one of the guys who applauds it, like the pearl necklace and the walkout songs and the pimping of the home runs. Like, I'm a fan of it. So anyway, I was being generous. Yeah, so Nationals Park, and now he's in this one, Globe Life. Now, Globe Life Park, I mean, it's funny because it actually has an above average amount of hard hits that took place, yet it still has a below average park factor, which definitely, to me, even influences it even more. It's saying it inflated homers a little bit, but I think that's just the nature of the fact that they're a little bit of a home run team, trying to be built like one before. But yeah, not a great place to hit. So now McKenzie gets to go there. And now he's in this rotation. He's with Jake. Man, Jake's 37.6. Nate, two of my favorites, both teammates of mine, and then McKenzie, and then Jack Leiter. So kind of a young boy, middle of the rotation guys that are looking to make the leap. I don't know. We'll see how this plays. I actually don't have this pitching staff leading the league in ERA again. Definitely not. I mean, the bullpen's just straight up weird. I mean, it's got a huge swing of possibilities in this bullpen, I would say. I mean, Chris Martin's very reliable, but a lot of these guys, and Junis is pretty reliable, but Wynn, who knows? Diaz, who knows? And then the bottom 3 are, I mean, like Spores we haven't seen in a while. So anyway, I'm not sure. Plus, I really like the Mariners. I think the Mariners are the most complete team. Plus, I like the A's. Like, I don't think their division's that easy, but clearly they're not laying down. They were 500 last year. They were in the mix for a long time, despite not hitting. But they're still chasing the Astros and the Mariners, and I think the A's are hot on their tail. So I'm not that big on it. I'm not that huge on them, but we'll see. Let's see here. We call it Cy Young Park here in Dallas. Got you. Danny Bonds at catcher, former Blue Jay, former Grand Slam off me in one of the worst games of my life. Nimmo could DH a lot to hide his weak arm, maybe. We'll see. What else we got in here? Don't look at the Nats rotation in case you want to get sad. I'm not afraid of it to be sad. But Paul's starting over, over here. They kind of had to. Okay, Cade Cavalli, who I think might be on Team Italy. Brad Lord, Jake Irvin, Josiah Gray on the comeback, and then Foster Griffin, who they signed. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be rated one of the bottom 3 rotations, right? Coming into the season in terms of projections. I haven't even thought about the Nationals in a while. Let's look at it's the same old crew. James Wood, who everybody knows I love. CJ, Lille, Cruz, Garcia has been there forever. Keibert, House, Nunez, Young. I mean, yeah, they're not going to win a lot with that lineup. We'll see. All right, back to the chat. That rotation has a pretty low floor. DeGrom and Evaldi are never healthy. Yeah, but I mean, Jake did pitch the whole season last year. I think he's gonna. I actually think Jake gets less credit. I mean, like I think he just broke himself by being too good and throwing too hard with the Mets. But before that, he actually had a lot of seasons where he pitched a lot of innings. Evaldi, that's fair. I mean, he's only had a few years where he's held up, but when he holds, I mean, he's like Jedi level out there now. All right, so here's Jake by innings. I mean, there was this stretch. I mean, I was just praising Freddy Peralta for a very similar stretch, albeit not nearly as good. I mean, Jake had a 2.53 in 95 starts here. But I mean, look, he did pitch 31 starts, 32 starts, 32 starts, and before that, 24 and 30. Like there was a stretch here where he was doing his thing, but then the body just can only throw 100 with pinpoint accuracy for so long, maybe. But yeah, he did make another 30 this year. So, okay, we'll see. Evaldi, though, I do agree, even though I mentioned he's like probably one of my favorite, most impressive teammates I've ever been with. I mean, yeah, there's always something. He's reached 30 starts twice. 32 and 21 is actually coincidentally one of the years I played with him. And then 2014 back with the Marlins, 33 starts. I mean, he's made 20-ish starts, but yeah, he's having a hard time making all of them. So I hear you on that. I hear you on that. All right. I think the whole staff, I'm pretty sure. Now you're making me want to check it. Statistics, pull team, league pitching 2025. Oh, no. Well, if you go by WOBA, they're number 1. This doesn't do ERA. We don't do that. We don't do those stats. But by WOBA, yeah, they have an advantage over the Padres. So anyway, I guess that's what I was looking at. All right, what else we got here? All right, I'm going to skip ahead of some things. You guys are great in the chat tonight. Do I think DeGrom is a Hall of Famer? For me, in my Hall of Fame, yes, especially based on the way I voted so far. Like I voted for Felix this year. I definitely would vote for Jake. Most people won't, but I would. This is not true. This is like just something that people say. I think what I mentioned earlier was like all things being equal, he would rather not be in a big market. It's just not his style. But he loved being a Met. He definitely loved being a Met. Look, he lived in the city for a long time. Which you wouldn't do if you hate the city. You would just pretend it's not New York. A lot of people do that. They go live like out where I live or in the sticks or way out in somewhere, and then they drive in and they just like forget that they're in the city. So he didn't do that. Anyway, we as baseball fans deserve a few more healthy Jacob deGrom seasons before he kicks. Look at this year last year, and people are like not impressed. We're just tired of how good he is. It's insane. He's unreal. All right, what else we got? Me too, Dano. Me too. Quite a bit. Yeah, what do you guys think? on this. I mean, I just can't do night all the time, but you know, do what we can. I also think during the season with the games, a lot of times the morning's great, and then it's like it's up there the whole day if you want to watch it without being in the chat. I mean, who likes them? I'm a liberal and I don't even like them. So it is what it is. All right, let's see here. I missed DeGrom as a Met. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's just so incredible. It's just so incredible. Oh, there's the official stat from Cobra. Rangers first in team ERA at 3.49. Brewers second at 3.59. Yeah, 0.99 WHIP career. Him and Mariano, those two are just like unbelievable. What else we got? How's the WBC buildup coming? Well, I didn't have a good day today. I didn't get to throw today, but it is coming along. Tomorrow I'll throw more aggressively again, and then we'll keep proceeding. But I'm feeling good, feeling fine. Any chance you could ever have Harvey DeGrom, Wheeler, Matz, Thor on as a guest? Would love to hear from those guys with you. Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I know Harvey pretty well. Jake is just not going to come on. I mean, I could ask him, but I mean, maybe, but it would have to be the right circumstance. It'd have to be the right circumstance. I don't know Wheels. Matsy I used to train with, but he's similar to Jake. He doesn't like to talk really. Noah, I know a little bit, but we'll see. Do I take ice bath after workout? Occasionally I do like contrast a lot when I play, hot and then cold. Sometimes I would do like a short cold plunge right before the game just to like get super alert. Was one of the things I would try to do, but I don't really like to be in there for too long. Not that I can't handle it, but I don't believe in the benefit of it that much. I like the warm more for blood flow, but I do like going back and forth. The contrast seems to work really well for recovery. Italia. All right, what else we got? So that was the trade. I mean, obviously they gave back a lot of prospects, so I can go real quick check the Nationals prospects now because they're probably moving up the list now. So yeah, I remember when I scouted the draft, this guy Gavin Feen was like in the running for a top 10 pick. He ends up going, I believe, 12th overall. Yeah. 55 hit grade, 55 power, 50 run, 55 arm, 50 overall, 50. I also think it's a little bit easier to give up on a high school guy that's a couple years away. You're like out of sight, out of mind. But I do want to point out that this ball club has 3 shortstop prospects. And I don't even know about Luke Dickerson, who's obviously rated even higher than Seaver King, which is one of the ones I was going to point out. But like Eli Willits, who was the first pick in the draft, Reggie's kid, and then Gavin Fine. And then they also have this guy, Seaver King, who's a pretty damn good player at Wake Forest. First rounder as well. And then on top of it, there's this guy, Luke Dickerson. So they have 4 shortstop guys, Yeah, I mean, it's just like, they have they're going to rebuild this thing. I think Paul Taboni is going to be really good. It's going to be interesting to watch him do it. I like the Harry Ford move they made earlier too. I know they gave up Ferrer, but a really good reliever doesn't really help you when you're a bad team. So I like what they're building here. And they got even more. I mean, Rosario was in this trade, right? Yeah, this guy was a prospect that came over. He's got a 60 fastball. So they got a lot back for Mackenzie Gore, and for that reason, I think they had to do it. All 5 guys I think were in the top 20 or top 30 for the Rangers. All right, what else we got? He's not. I've seen the list, and I'll tell you, he's not on the list. Chase Burns. He's got to compete for a rotation spot this year. No doubt. No doubt. Who represents the AL in the World Series this year? It's probably the Mariners or whoever is the strongest AL East team. So that remains to be seen who it is. I think you got to have the Jays as the projected number 1 team in the AL East, but it's pretty close. Like near Naples area. All right, what else we got? Dylan Cruz, so far it hasn't worked out. That's a good point, but big time prospect, so we'll see. Nope, the lab is gone. I wish it was still there, but it's no moss. It's no moss. Still kind of pissed off the Mets didn't draft a guy named Seaver. True. That's pretty funny. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I mean, I wouldn't peg them as the favorite, but they have a chance. Baseball's like that. All right, there's so much stuff in here. Who's on the Italy coaching staff? Cervelli's the manager. Jorge Posada's on the staff. Dave Righetti. I think Nick Punto. I actually know the staff. I have that in a text message here. So let me get that real quick. Let's see if there's any names you guys know. Ron Wotus, Frank Menachino, Sal Fasano. Those are some names. Obviously, I already mentioned Cervelli, Jorge Posada, Dave Righetti. I mean, there's some real names there. So that's pretty cool. All right. What else we got here? He is. You don't have to, you can coach on a team without being native to it. I think it's mainly because he's a mentor to Cervelli. So that's why he's a part of it. I think they're like family at this point. Cruz wasn't really rushed. He was performing well. It's just a bigger adjustment for him. But I'm not saying rushed. I just mean, yeah, he's young. He's young in the big leagues. It's a challenge. It's a major adjustment. 100%, So it remains to be seen how he will do. Yeah, I mean, I have him on the list. I don't know if he's going to play, but I have him on the list. Anyway. Yeah, Roman is not playing on Italy. He had the oblique thing. Depends. Yeah, no Mike Piazza this year either. All right. What else we got? What else happened? There's a couple smaller moves. Sir Anthony Dominguez to the White Sox. So the White Sox, they did just trade away Robert, so they saved $20 million, and then you know what? They just spent it. 2-year $20 on Sir Anthony Dominguez. He was actually pretty good last year. I've never been as high on him. First of all, he's got maybe the most beautiful delivery I've ever seen. So flowy, but I've never been as high on him. Now, look, he had a great year last year. I mean, 3.16 in 67 games. He's essentially healthy every year. He's essentially healthy every year now, and last year was the year that his strikeouts really ticked up. Phillies know him. I don't know. For me, I don't know if he's a $10 million a year reliever, but the White Sox certainly went for it. It is pretty incredible to be a first percentile in walks. And yet really good. So he was just really unhittable last year, averaging 97.7 on his four-seam, 97.8 on the sinker. Sweeper, I believe, is sort of a new thing. Let's see. Yeah, well, it's been increasing. Yeah, it didn't exist in 23, and then he went 18%, and then almost 22% this past year. So that might have really helped him. But I don't know. It's like I've just seen. I don't know. I guess I just maybe seen him give it up a lot. But he did pitch quite well last season, and he gets broke off. So White Sox add another reliever. They've quietly had a much more active offseason than I think anybody could have expected. And he'll be penciled in as the closer, which is great for him. Nothing better than the closer role. What a cushy job. Unbelievable. So many holes. White Sox didn't even have save opportunities last year. What are we doing? So that's an argument too. Like, and that's why it did shock me too. I have to say, I kind of agree with you there, Uncle Ted. Like, there is no point in having this guy, really, at that price on this club. Like, you'd be better off spending the money in a starting pitching fashion. They could really use a veteran on this staff. I mean, Anthony Kay and Sean Newcomb are the vets right now on this staff, which is crazy. You know, and even like a real DH bat, like, man, like, I don't know, Suarez or Marcelo Zuna or something would have been interesting, but I don't know. But they do go for Sir Anthony and they pay him, and now he's on the White Sox. But the White Sox have had they've just been so much more active than I expected. You know, Newcomb, Kay, obviously Acuna with the trade, Murakami. They've done some stuff. So I'm excited to watch Murakami more than anything for this team. Well, it's a 2-year deal. I mean, you know, I don't know. He'd have to be like really shoving in the offer would have to be there. I didn't see Martin Perez in the mix here. He's a throwback to the 90s when every team had a guy with the nastiest stuff you've ever seen and a 35% chance he might throw 25 straight balls. I mean, first percentile is something. Maya, we talked about this one a little bit earlier. I think that there's a slight probably, like, if you were to, it's pretty close. I think betting line would probably favor Sproat to be the better pitcher, career wise, but I think it's a little closer than it's like really close for me, because I like Myers that he throws more outlier to me than Sproat. Maybe he doesn't have as much technician or as much variety in his game like Sproat does, but he doesn't throw as hard as him. But I don't know. I think it's pretty close. I like the funkiness of Myers in a way. Yeah, and this is how I feel too. I don't think Oko has it out. I think Okamoto just plays 3 straight years in Toronto. And I couldn't, to me, this is their best move of the offseason. Oh, man, it's not even in here now. That's so annoying. Well, give me Baseball Reference. Yeah, I mean, do they have his contract in here yet? That's annoying. But I know it's 3 for something. Like 3 for 60. I mean, he's just gonna play it straight through. I don't think there's any opt-outs or anything. So, I really like this move for the Blue Jays. To me, this is the move I like the most for them. I think he's gonna fit great. I really think this guy's a great player. From everything I've heard and from what I've watched, like, I'm confused why more teams weren't all over him. I know he's 30 years old, but my God, this guy's gonna bang. I think he's gonna be really good for the Jays. And that's part of the reason why I like them so much. I mean, I know they lost Bo, but they got this guy, and you know they've done some things with the rotation, and I mean they have so much momentum coming off of last year. So I don't know. It's going to be intriguing to watch. 4-year, no opt-outs. Okay, 4-year deal, no opt-outs. 4 for 60, excuse me. So yeah, so what's going to happen with Gallen? Him and Framber are my last 2 remaining Ottavino baseball and coffee top 20 free agents. Tucker's gone, Bregman's gone, and then there's Framber. Bo's gone, Belli's gone, Schwarber's gone, Pete's gone, Amai is gone, Kinger is gone, Cease is gone, Gallen, Suarez gone, Sugar gone, Devin gone, Naylor gone, Oko gone, Murakami gone, Real Muto gone, Suarez gone, Woodruff gone. So it's Gallen and Framber. What the hell is going to happen with Gallen? I've mentioned that I mean he wouldn't take my offer, because I think now it's pretty clear that he's going to probably have to do the opt-out thing and try to go back. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world with how it's been working. He'll do the little opt-out game and go back in off of better year and then get broke off. But I'd be offering him like a 5-year deal and see if I can't just get him now, because I think last year was a fluke. For me personally, I think this guy's a really good pitcher and a workhorse, and that's what I want. I want workhorses. At least a few of them, and I think he would be great on any team. So I'll be very, very, very curious where Mr. Gallen ends up, as well as Valdez. We haven't heard a thing. We have not heard a thing So, I mean, there's other free agents that are good, but like Eugenio wasn't in my top. Wasn't in my top 20. Yeah, and the QO is killing Gallon. I mean, it seems like the QO is really a killer, man. Really a killer. Now, typically, I will say in bargaining, most players don't give a crap about the QO because they'll never see it. But it affects a handful of players every year really drastically and in a really sad way, and I don't like it. So um yeah, we'll see how that progresses. We will see how that progresses. After what Bassett said about the conclave of veterans who ran the Jays, I wonder if losing half those guys have a measure of effect on the Jays. He did say that. That was an intriguing comment on the show the other day when Bass said that, I mean, he actually did go that far. He said that they were essentially running the team in that, they were setting the tone. And you know what? I mean, really, you do have to lean on your clubhouse a lot of times. Things just land differently from a teammate than from a coach. But it did make me think a lot about Schneider and like how at some point there was a group of people that had to like kind of outvote him a little bit on decisions maybe. So that is very intriguing. And it'll be interesting to see because they're not going to get doesn't look like Bass is going to be there and it doesn't look like Scherz is going to be there. And Bo's obviously not there. I don't know if he was a part of that or not, but I mean they still have Gosman and some of those guys. But we'll see. We'll see. That was a very intriguing comment by Seabass. I agree. Yeah, I watched the whole video on this. Somebody posted about this on my Discord. Seth Halverson or whatever with the 102. I was actually in the video for throwing like a pitch where I slipped. It is crazy the 102 behind the batter, and then you couldn't figure out the slippage situation, which was crazy. Yeah, she's overtired. Oh, these kids are so overtired. All right, what else we got? Yeah, slippage. Yeah. I don't think LA does that. I think that's the Marlins, and I don't like it. Yeah, Bassett's 100% starting, and that's the thing. A lot of people think that he'll go to the bullpen, but he's going to sign for like 2 for 30 something. So, he's going to start. Scherzer, who knows? JV, who knows? Those are going to be 1-year gunslingers. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, Snell calls his own pitches. 100%. All right. What else we got? So that was Gallon. There were some other small things. Yoan Moncada back with the Angels. This time $4 million. We were wondering what was going to happen at third with the Angels. I thought maybe Nolan was going to go there. That didn't happen. I mean, this is the reclamation project special here, this team. It really is. I do like the fact that they needed to get some lefties in the lineup. So Josh Lowe goes there. And now Moncada's a switch hitter, so he's in there. So it's not all righties. And nobody knows how this team's going to perform. But based off recent history, you can't expect much out of the Angels at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, Grayson Rodriguez, Alek Manoah's in the situation here. Robert Stevenson, Kirby, Jordan Romano. I mean, this list goes on and on and on. And Moncada's another one. We looked at him a while back, and like his under the hood wasn't so bad. His Savant page wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad. Like there was some stuff in here. He still barrels, still has bat speed. But I mean, this guy was like a speed demon when he first came up, and I don't know, 784 is not bad in 289 plate appearances, but he really hasn't been healthy, and I don't know, he's just not getting anybody excited anymore. So, Angels continue to do Angels things. And now we're looking at a Neto, Shanuel, Trouty, Moncada, Adele, Lowe, Soler, Ohapi, Moore. What's crazy is all of a sudden there's been this whole like online push to this company, which I noticed today, the Immortal Chamber. And Mike Trout's like maybe this is the thing that Mike Trout is saying is fixing him. Man, payments as low as $3,000 a month. You could get one at your house, folks. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, this like fixes you. You put on some oxygen and you sit in these lights on this crooked bench, and now Mike Trout's going to be back. So it's only 159K. Only 159. It's only 159K if you guys want it. I know Bregman's involved, but my God, 159K? What are we doing? Better work. Thing better work. I think in this case, like if you're hawking one of these items, might as well just make it as expensive as possible, because that gives it like almost like more juice. And you like the more expensive it is, the more people are like, well, it must be amazing if you're charging 159K for this thing. So yeah, used to belong to Michael Jackson. Sounds a bit harmless and expensive. I mean, who the fuck knows? Well, I guess we'll find out. Can it fix Trout hitting righties? Oh, don't worry. The Angels didn't buy that. He spent that with his own money. So, Angels did not buy that. Am I excited to get back on the mound? Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I love pitching, obviously. Nervous about it, but I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, let's move away from the Immortal Chamber here for a minute. Boo. Yeah, they have Jorge Soler. They have a ton of righties who strike out. Ton of righties who strike out. Where's my Angels? Hold on, I need my Angels roster. This was the issue before. I mean, and look, I mean, to Perry's credit, he did get a couple lefty bats in the lineup. That was a must. They had no choice. But I mean, the righties at one point, it was Neto, Trout, Adele, Soler, Ohapi, and Moore, and like Grisham and d'Arnaud, like all in a row. And it's just like, that's just too many, and they all strike out a lot too. So I don't know. It was definitely a very pitchable team, but at least they have 3 lefties in there now. Well, 2 lefties and a switch to be more exact. All right, what else we got? I got some pillows and red LED bars. Surely it's the same effect. Yeah, me too. What a deal. It's a steal, folks. It's a steal. I don't know, Maya, what's better, this or the whole blood spinning Bryce Harper stuff? Oh shit. Oh guys, it's only a 16K deposit, guys. It's so easy. All right, what else we got? It's 1 game salary if you make 25.839 million a year. Cobra, you always have the most exact stats. It's fantastic. Oh, see, Nick was already on it. What about Bryce Harper getting a third of his blood swapped out for no reason at all? What are you hiding, Bryce? I think this is a stretch. Winter Tide. I think it's a stretch. I think he's I love Shane Bieber. I think he's great, but it's a stretch because you have to throw like over 200 innings of filth. So we'll see. AKA the Lance Armstrong therapy. The blood oxidation is worse purely because this at least looks harmless. Yeah, it does. It looks harmless. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Bieber. Maybe he does have an arm thing. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Man, it's crazy. Crazy. All right. What else happened? What else is going on? We already did Hall of Fame. We talked about all these other moves. I don't care about somebody rebuffing interest. I mean, what is that? That's non-news. So it just tells you that teams are thinking the Nationals are open for business. And, CJ's a pretty good player. And he doesn't even sleep at night, and he's still a good player. I'm just kidding. That was too easy. You know what, though? I don't know if there's a game tonight, but the Lidom, the Dominican League playoffs have not started well for my team, the Toros. They lost the first two of the championship series, and luckily tonight they got a postponement. They needed a little break, but yesterday they got beat 7-4, and they really effed up the first game. With there was a huge rally in this game. Yeah, Mejia allowed 5 runs in this rally for Escogido. So maybe we go through the play-by-play. Do we get video for this? Yeah, JC Mejia. So here's the rally. And I know you guys, some people are going to tune out right now that I'm watching winter ball, but this was 6-2 Toros. And then all of a sudden, Escogido, the defending champs, looking to go back-to-back. Touche. Touche, sir. And then they come roaring back. You think Tom Brady plays? You're so cynical, Ted. You might be right, though, but you're so cynical. Oh, a little inside out. Socrates Brito takes a little cutter. Oh, look at Eddie Rosario over there. This is also the time of the year that the rosters get pretty star-studded. Like, people start playing. So that's how they got going. Second and third. 1 run in. Junior Lake, former Cub. Little RBI rollover that they have no play on. Heimer Candelario, you did not charge that ball, sir. Why did you lay back on this ball, Heimer? You got to charge that thing, bro. All right. Tapia grounds out, intentional walk, and then Alcides Escobar comes through with the big knock. 0-1 count. Ground ball through the 6-hole, and we got ourselves a tie game in the Capitol. Rosario, dangerous running on Rosario. He's got a cannon, but they do it anyway. Junior Lake running right in his face, and that tied it up. And then they take the lead on another former teammate of me, Franchi Cordero. Yeah, my guy Franchi. This ball's probably hit like a sneaky 115 off the bat because it's Franchi. And Brian De La Cruz tries to get it in, and Escogido wins it. So they win game 1 behind a really tremendous comeback. And then in game 2, which was played in La Romana, they just flat out beat him. 3 runs in the first off of Nabil Krismat, who started the game for the Toros, who actually just drafted, I believe, from the Aguilas over there. And then that was kind of it. You give up 5 runs in 2 2/3, and you just kind of squirrel it away. Jose Urquidy of Astros fame started the game for Escogido. Neris appeared in this game. My guy Steven Nogasek has actually pitched quite well, I believe, this winter. How well has Nogo pitched this winter? I mean, 22 games, 3.22, 3 saves, 5 walks, 31 punchies for my former teammate from the Metros. Very nice. Offensively, Junior Lake, big home run off Corbett. And now it's 2-0. So they got a lot to come back from the Toros if they're going to come back in the Lidom finals series. So we'll keep tabs on that. No game tonight. It got postponed. Watching the Winter Leagues is amazing. I remember some guys I got to see Ruben Tejada in the year of our Lord 2024. Yeah, no, Winter League is crazy, man. It's awesome. It's a lot of passion. And this time of year, once it gets down to the final series, I mean, it's like packed out and pretty cool. And these teams are interesting. You know, La Romana and Santo Domingo are along the same road on the south part of the island, of the Dominican island, Hispaniola. And basically, it's just like an hour between them, hour and a half between them. So it's a pretty straight shot. I don't think these teams are quite rivals, but they all kind of are rivals. You must be a Mets fan. Oh my God, this is just like, this is the most niche question ever. This is the most Rockies niche question ever. Two of my favorite all-time teammates and mentors, quite frankly, Mr. Matt Belisle and Mr. Rafael Betancourt. Now, this is a good showdown because they're both, first of all, they play catch with each other every day. So it's either my guy right here, Matt Belisle, or the man who was actually the closer of the team, a guy who I could not have any more respect for as a relief pitcher, in Mr. Rafael Betancourt, my Venezuelan brother. Now, this guy, little known stat about my guy Rafi Betancourt. You can see here he pitched 680 games in the show and threw 685 and 2/3. That's a pretty good workload. You want to know the craziest fucking stat I've ever heard? 1 hit by pitch. He hit 1 batter, and it happened in 2003, his first year when he was 28. So he went 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15 when he came back from his Tommy John at age 40 to pitch for us, and hit 1 batter. And I remember I asked him about it, and he said, "Oh, yes, Marcus Timms." And after you watched his pitching style, you would understand why. Only thing he did was throw down and away fastballs. That was it. He really didn't have anything else. Fastball, 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 away. But he had pinpoint control on it. It probably had a ride cut effect to it before people had ride cut. So people didn't even know about that yet, and he was bringing it out there. I also want to point out one of the most dominating seasons I've ever witnessed in relief on Baseball Reference. 4.3 WAR in 2007 for a team that was 1 win away from eliminating the eventual champion Red Sox in the postseason that year. 147 ERA in 68 games, 79 and a third, 51 hits, 9 walks, 80 strikeouts. Fuck off. 2.22 FIP, 0.756 WHIP, 5.8 hits. I mean, that's just that's an all-time season. That's ridiculous. But when I played with him, he was pretty awesome too. I played with him. Let me see the years I played with the old man. I played with Rafi starting in 2012, and then I played with him in 2013, and then when he came back from his Tommy John. I mean, even those years, he was pretty good. 37 years old, 2.81 as a Rocky. That's hard to do. So I guess you can probably tell I'm going to probably pick Rafael Betancourt. But look, it's pretty close. Matt Belisle also pitched 693 games in the big leagues and was quite good. Big time workhorse as well. I mean, this is 80 games at Coors Field. That's no joke. But ultimately, he's just not as good as Rafael Betancourt. So I say all that to say Rafael Betancourt is my vote in this question. Thank you for this question. Thank you for making me think about two people I don't think about a lot. Well, I haven't thought about in a while. All right, back to the old chat. Got to get that AO hit by pitch Sporkle made. I've hit some people for sure. I remember one time I came in a game against the Phillies, and the first pitch of the game was to Freddy Galvis, and I threw like 96 fastball right off his shin. I didn't mean to do it. It was that bad of a first pitch. And I just was like, and he looked at me like, what the hell, man? And I was just like, I don't know. That was horrible. So I don't know how Rafi never really did that. That shit happens. Story was a yes. We just got to get him on the right day. He's got to tell me when he's available. But yeah, Story will come on. No doubt about it. I hit 47 guys in my career. Wow. A couple broken bones, probably. Sorry about it. Starling would be great. You know, I actually have a feeler out to Alvy right now. We're trying to get Alvy on here. We'll see what happens. We really need to get more Latin flavor on here anyway. Starling would be good. I should reach out to Starling because he can fill me in on the Dominican stuff too, which I think is really good. I don't know if I ever hit anybody twice. I mean, maybe I did. 3 guys I hit twice? Oh, shit. That's crazy. So I never got charged. I definitely dreamed about it. I kind of wanted it to happen, not because I think I'm tough or anything, just to say it happened, just to have the experience, just to man up and see what happens. But never happened. I definitely didn't. I used to. I honestly, I swear to you, that I used to think that Puig was going to charge the mound against me and kill me. And that I didn't want to happen. But other than that, I was like, whatever, let's do it. Who have I hit on purpose? I've never hit anybody on purpose. Not in the major leagues. Not in the major leagues. One of the three guys has been mentioned already on the stream. Oh, God. Why would you want to go against Puig? Bro is jacked. Exactly. He would kill me. He would kill me. He would break me in half. Literally break me in half. The wild horse. He was so good, too. He also kind of low-key raked me, I think. At the beginning, I felt like I was all right, but then, he came back with a vengeance against me. No, it's not more. This is where I get tired. Yep, verse batter. First batter. There he is, Yasiel Puig. Yeah, he raked me. I mean, dude, 545,000 OPS, home run, which he definitely pimped pretty good. And it was amazing. I struck him out 3 times. I mean, I remember the good times, but I do remember that he got a lot of hits off me. Super annoying. Maybe we can actually, you know what? I mean, there are times where you can use your tools to your disposal, because we are now talking about the wild horse. No, I'm not Ottavino the batter. Yasiel Puig, pitcher. Ottavino. Okay. Season. Divisional era. Show more. Wow, double, single. What are we doing? There's more than that, though. Something's off here. There's more here. Ah, there we go. All right, let's watch every single thing. Let's watch them all. All right, by date. 2018, 2013. Okay. First time. It's going to be a strikeout. Fastball up. 90 miles an hour. Kid's shoulder was not feeling good. Yeah, doesn't look great. All right, then he goes homer. This is a slider off the plate at Coors. Demolished and bat flipped. Oh, not off the plate, but still demolished. 2 strikes. Tyler Colvin, why you running, man? That thing's gone. Got me there. Let's see here. Now I got him out here. Video unavailable. That's weird. Strikeout. What is going on? Oh, here's another strikeout. This one was gas. 97. Oh, he's pissed. Pissed. And then after that, it got pretty ugly pretty fast. Here's an out. Hold on. Where's Nolan? Why is Nolan not playing third? Oh, I guess we're getting bludgeoned, so he probably came out. Nice play, though. Sick play. All right, and then here's where he laid it on me. Double. Oh, this is 2017. I was dreadful this year. I can't even think about it. Oh, he thought he hit a homer. Nope. Yeah, this is a good question. I did change my motion a lot over the years. I got a lot better. It got better over time. Single. Come on, stop hitting the wrong button, Adam. This is also 2017. I was in a bad place this year. I just was. Bad place. Another hit. DJ tried. Couldn't do anything. Another single. Pink bat. Also 2017. God, I was so bad this year. Leadoff hit. You don't want that. And then another hit. This guy owned me. This is insane. Well, I think this is now 2018. This is when I was good and he still owned me. Yeah, this is 2018. Cutter? What am I doing? Gerardo was not ready for that. And then for good measure, one more pitch. I think I finally tried to pitch him inside, and yet he still got a hit. Yeah. Unbelievable. Wonder if I had a bad reaction to this. Probably. It's not there. Okay, whatever. Now we're just going. Now we're just going for no reason. Rafael Yanoa. I know, Brett. I know. Just saying. Just looking at it. Yeah, I've been in a few of these. I didn't hit anybody. I yelled at a few people. That's about it. Yeah, this is a good question. Like why? Like what? Like why am I? Why have a Red Sox hat on my reference page? It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like I just gotten some bad counts against him. I also feel like Puig's swing went right through the middle of the zone, and like I never really got above or below it. With the times I did, if you watch the strikeouts, they're either up or down. Anything in the middle, he kind of handled. So it's kind of dumb. Yeah, I mean this shit's live. Shit's sad sometimes. Got 90 people on my channel though, killing it. Although I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. There's not a whole lot going on. Next show will be Monday. Yeah, Monday 10 a.m. Anyone have Puig's zone contact rates handy? That's funny. What's the main bat brand nowadays? Still Marucci, probably. Louisville, Marucci, Chandler, Victus, Tucci. Man, there's so many. So many. Bats are crazy. Like when you're in spring training, the bat companies, they like the bat companies like in spring training are there like almost every day hawking their products. Like there's so many of them. There's like 30 bat companies that have certification. So definitely a lot of bats. 100%. I know my wife is thirsty. I'm honestly pretty thirsty too. So, pretty tired. Yeah, I mean if I was, I'd be a lot richer. Tell you that, Dave. All right. Yeah, they used to make us. Well, I mean, they didn't like make us wear the pink sleeves. I keep trying to click on this, and things keep changing. Um, I used to wear them because, like, if you're wearing the pink hat, and at the time they used to have like the custom jerseys. Now they don't even do that. It's just like a hat. But it used to be like the jersey. Everything had a pink theme or a blue theme if it was Father's Day. So yeah, I just kind of try to go with it. It's one day, do something different. Do something different. Am I ready for this snowstorm? Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready. A couple more things tomorrow, but yeah, I think we're ready. Bo talked taking BP at Coors when his dad was a hitting coach. Did you catch any of that? Absolutely, yes. I've talked about it before in the stream. Dante was the hitting coach for most of 2013, I want to say, with the Rockies, and Bo, I think, was 14 years old, and he was around. He wasn't playing travel ball. He was just, I think this was a genius move by his dad. He just had him around. He was always taking grounders with Tulo and other people. And hitting on the field with, the great players. And honestly, I think he just caught the bug then. I think he just like was around guys that love the game and saw what it could do for you. And it's a pretty good life, man. You just get to go play baseball with your friends. And yeah, there's pressure, but like you're playing baseball for a living and making money, and it's amazing. And so I think he caught the bug from there when he realized what he could maybe potentially do, and he went from there. So it was a very cool story. Very cool story. Yeah, my wife was just talking about the exploding trees. It's so funny. Oh, you want me to get my son Drew Smith on the show? I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to find out what's up with him. Somebody needs to sign my guy. So I'll see how he's doing. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. This has been a good show. Everybody stay warm, stay safe. We're doing the show on Monday, snow or not, unless the internet gets kicked out. But yeah, my son, we were like attached at the hip when I was a Met. I mean, he literally lived in my house for times. So I joke, I kid. That's my brother though, Drew Smith. We love each other. Anyway, there's so many questions. This has been an incredible stream tonight. Really, really fun. Thank you guys for hanging with me on my channel, MLB's channel, everybody that's involved. We'll be back on Monday. If you're a Mets fan, man, it's starting to get exciting for this season. I think for everybody, it's starting to get exciting. 40 days to the WBC. Stuff's going down, and we'll cover it all here. We'll be here on Baseball and Coffee on Monday and Baseball After Dark whenever it makes sense. So everybody, be safe out there and have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, have a good one, guys. See you later.